welcome to Carver Arena, site of America's original March Madness. This title game in Class 1A for 2008 features the Redskins of Nokomis, a record of 30-5, and the Cardinals of St. Anne, a record of 24-8. To honor America, please stand, remove your caps, and pause for a moment of silence to remember the men and women of the armed forces serving us here and around the world, away from their families, protecting our freedom. Thank you as we thank them. And now please address the flag with your hand over your heart as our singer, Wesley Mouri, a senior at Rockford Christian High School, leads us in our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now let's meet the starting lineups for this championship game. At a guard for Nokomis, a 5'11 junior, 5, Lucas Giacchino. At a guard for St. Anne, a 5'10 junior, 1, Kenneth Thomas. The other guard for the Redskins, a 6'1 senior, 14, Austin Bertolino. The other guard for the Cardinals, a 6' senior, 21, Cliff Fleming. At center for Nokomis, a 6'4 junior, 34, John Cheek. And at center for St. Anne, a 6'3 senior, 52, Varen Berdanis. And a forward for the Redskins, 6'5 senior, 24, Jared Spears. And a forward for the Cardinals, a 6'1 senior, 5, Cortez Penden. The other forward for Nokomis, a 6'3 senior, 41, Wade Kimbrough. The other forward for St. Anne, a 6'2 junior, 11, Clayton Mason. Coaching in his 27th year at Nokomis, a record of 561 and 200, Steve Kimbrough. Coaching in his 10th year at St. Anne's, a record of 191 and 89, Rick Schoon. As the players and coaches wish each other good luck at half court, the IHSA, the board of directors, and the member schools expect and promote good sportsmanship by all athletes. We also appreciate that from our coaches, students, parents, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and the officials in a positive manner. Do what's right. Thank you. No other state in America can claim the rich history and tradition that's been generated by March Madness in Illinois. It's America's original March Madness. Please direct your attention to the arena floor and meet the officials for this game. The referee is from Ottawa, Jim Knopf. Also from Ottawa, Bob Schiffbauer. And from Manville, Bob Weiss. Presenting the game ball for this game will be Jim Garner of Multiad, one of the sponsors of the March Madness Experience next door in the exhibit hall. All of us thank Multiad for their contribution to the greatest high school single event in the land.
Let's take a look at those starting fives again. Nokomis sends out Jacano, Bertolino, Spears, Wade Kimbrough. He's the son of the head coach, Steve Kimbrough, along with John Cheek. Thomas, Cliff Fleming, the first team All-Stater for St. Anne, along with Cortez Penden, Mason, and again, Viren Berdanis, who had the huge game yesterday in the state semifinals. St. Anne comes out in their dark uniforms with red and white trim, or I should say Nokomis does in their dark uniforms with red and white trim. St. Anne in the home whites with the maroon trim, and we're set for the Class 1A state championship game here at Carver Arena. The opening tap is controlled by the St. Anne Cardinals.
This game will be a game of contrasting styles.
There's Berdanis right away and right in the scorebook.
Good job on a back cut, reverse. The lob is effective against the 1-2-2.
Now Jacano lost the dribble, looking for some help. Tried to go inside to Kimbrough. He has to come out and get it. Boy, active hands all over the place for St. Anne. Now a backdoor lob is picked off. Kenneth Thomas the steal. Here comes St. Anne quickly up the floor. It's Cortez Peden. He gives it up again to Berdanis, who couldn't finish this time.
He got hit right in the face. I don't think he could finish that one.
We've played a minute here in this opening quarter, and we've got a foul, and it's going to be whistled against Kenneth Thomas. And one thing that we'll keep our eyes on, certainly that foul count. When you've got teams that like to pressure, teams that play up and down, you got a lot of slapping, and depending on what happens with the officials, will they let him play or will they call it tight?
Well, the pressure has really been put on by Kenneth Thompson on the ball. It's given a lot of trouble to Nokomis getting the ball up the floor. They've got to find the secondary way to get the ball up the floor if they can't bring it up against man-to-man.
There's Jacano down. Now it's Kimbrough. He backs in here, a shot blocked, and it's going to be a held ball. Good defense that time by Clayton Mason, who tied him up.
Excellent defensive play by Mason, who put his hand on top of the ball.
You see it's the 5th appearance for Nokomis, but no trophies to show in the trophy case. That will change today. Either they're taking home the first or the second place trophy.
When you're getting the ball on an inbounds, as a defender, you cannot turn your back on the ball.
Mason was whistled for the foul, his first. Now it's inbound to Kimbrough, who scores in traffic.
It's a key for Nokomis is being able to get inside points against the defense.
Now Peden is quickly up the floor, and he's chased to the corner. Now it's Thomas going inside. Here's Mason. Now it's Cliff Fleming. His three is short. Long rebound comes out to Nokomis. That's Bertolino gets it. Here's Kimbrough again.
Good job of entering the ball into the post. Kimbrough knows what to do with it when he gets it.
Well, Kimbrough, if he gets the ball in the low post like that all game, it's going to be trouble for St. Anne.
Right. Yeah, he can get the ball in the basket.
Cardinals are trying to better their 4th place appearance in 1973. A young man by the name of Jack Sikma was the star player.
Yesterday, I think there were 22 turnovers by Nokomis, and they're going to really have to control their turnovers against this kind of pressure.
Diving to the basket and scoring off the glass is Fleming.
Very athletic move, dribble penetration. Easy score.
First basket for the exciting and explosive first-team All-Stater.
At least he makes it look easy. It's not that easy.
And now a steal. It's Cortez Peden that comes away with it. Fleming's going to try again. This time from the corner is a 3.
St. Anne's very aggressive on the offensive end. They're really attacking the basket.
5 straight points now for Fleming. He's given St. Anne a 7-4 advantage. The ball is kicked out of bounds. You see the scoring comparisons. St. Anne scoring about 67 a game. Nokomis would rather have it to be a much more slower pace. They're averaging 54 points per game. There's Jacano driving, couldn't finish that time. Quickly back up the floor. It's Fleming. He just made a jumper from that corner. He gives it up this time. It's Kenneth Thomas from the outside. He can't get it to go. Defensive backboard, John Cheek. Now working the baseline and pulling up and jumping is Bertolino. Missed a shot, got his own rebound and got a block, but drew some contact, and he's going to get a couple of foul shots out of it.
Got to keep the shooter off. He did a nice job of ball faking, getting a shot, following his shot. A little shaky on the offensive end for Nokomis. They're not really sure how to attack the defense. They're a little they're concerned right now with not just their entry passes, but getting the ball over half court, getting into their offense. When they've done it, they've been able to get good entry passes into the post. They're going to have to get better ball movement in order to continue to score in the post.
We're seeing Javante Davis enter the game for St. Anne. Was he terrific yesterday coming off the bench, scoring 11 points and having 12 rebounds. He was a big reason why the Cardinals are playing for a state championship here today.
He really came in and gave him a lift.
Bertolino's second free throw is good. And we've got a timeout on the floor. St. Anne with a 1-point lead. Back with more from Carver Arena after these messages from our network sponsors.
Would love to bring home some hardware today to put next to the girls in the trophy case. Now, Cal, I hear you have a little experience in winning a championship trophy. Tell me, what's it like?
Pretty good feeling.
Yeah.
Pretty good feeling.
You know, when you've been around this business long enough and you know everybody in the state, it's nice when they call you up and congratulate you on winning a state championship, and it just instead of saying nice season, coach, huh?
Yeah, or instead of saying you need to look for another job.
Winning that state championship with Normal University High School. What a wonderful feeling that is, and one of these two coaches is going to feel that same way today. Outside jumper by Berdanis is no good, and it's cleared by Nokomis' Jared Spears, and so now the Redskins have a chance to shoot for the lead. From the outside, a three is good. That's Austin Bertolino. He is the team's long-range threat.
First time they've had an entry to the left side of the floor, brought the ball back to the top, had a really good look at a three.
75 three-point makes on the season for Bertolino, and if you lose track of him, he's usually out at the three-point line.
Nokomis has made some good adjustments in their defense. They were giving up dribble penetration early, but the 1-2-2 is made to keep the ball from being dribbled into the lane, and that's what they're doing now.
Well, Nokomis can win multiple ways. You saw that they had a 72-point game earlier this season and then scored just half that, 36 points yesterday in their victory over Warrensburg Latham. So it's not always the team that pours on the points. They can win with the defense, and that's really Nokomis' calling card. There's Jacano driving again. He couldn't get that to go from the right side. Now quickly back up the floor is Kenneth Thomas. Just blew by a couple of defenders. Slips the ball over to Fleming in traffic. His shot is no good. Ball is loose, and it's controlled now by Wade Kimbrough. Now he's going to bring the ball up the floor. Here's Bertolino. He's going to try a three from the other side. That's missed. Kimbrough fights for the ball. It's out of bounds, and it's going to be Nokomis's.
They're doing a good job of cutting off passing lanes, St. Anne is. As a result, Kimbrough brought the ball up the floor and was pretty effective at it.
Get a good look there at Rick Schoon in his 10th season, 191 career wins. Outside shot is no good, but Kimbrough's there, a weak side offensive board, sticked it back, couldn't get it to go down. It's cleared by Berdanis. Now quickly up the floor, Fleming dribbled it off his foot and out of bounds.
Both teams are playing so hard, feeling one another out right now. They're playing a little bit too fast. Got to get themselves into a good game rhythm so they can make plays. You notice how the big kids are starting to come out and help alleviate the pressure for Nokomis. Really good move by Coach Kimbrough.
Here's his son Wade. He's also got a nephew on the team. Pump fake from the corner by Spears and the outside jumper.
Great pressure release is the high post, and that's how it was used that time.
And now a turnover as St. Anne crossed the end line on the inbounds pass. And these are the kind of mistakes that pile up when the team is putting pressure on you like that.
And you need to give yourself, you just need to get over it and move on.
Bertolino again. This time he's inside the arch and hitting the lean-in jumper.
With every basket, Nokomis gains more and more confidence.
Nokomis on an 8-0 run now for a 13-7 advantage. And again, another turnover.
Really good run by Nokomis here. St. Anne needs to get themselves under control.
Rick Schoon wants timeout. He wants to talk things over.
Good timeout.
Here's the tale of the two cities. Nokomis from the southern part of the state, St. Anne from suburban Chicago. Nokomis with a population base of 2,800 as opposed to St. Anne's 1,200. Nokomis in Montgomery County, St. Anne and Kankakee. See the enrollments are about 30 students differential favoring St. Anne. Nokomis plays its conference games in the Prairie State while St. Anne is a member of the River Valley. Both sides have some pretty good fan base, a pretty good fan base here today.
They both had good teams over the years too.
Here's the map, the two locations, as we mentioned. St. Anne from the northern part of the state drove about 125 miles southwest from Kankakee County to come to Carver Arena. The Nokomis Redskins driving 110 miles north from Montgomery County, and we should mention that Nokomis has been putting some miles on the school bus. Recently, they had a postponement in their Tuesday super sectional game because of the snowstorm that hit the southern part of the state. The game scheduled for Tuesday was moved to Wednesday in Carbondale. So they bussed to Carbondale. They got home about midnight, then had to turn around and get right on a bus at 9 a.m. on Thursday to get here for the shoot-around. So they've been spending a lot of time in that school bus.
We talked earlier about how teams, all teams, great teams, have to overcome unbelievable obstacles, and that's just another obstacle that they have to overcome. A fatigue factor of playing so many games. They've had one less day of rest, basically, and of preparation. So we'll see if it has a tail and it makes any difference in the fourth quarter.
It's funny. Steve Kimbrough told us at the shoot-around on Thursday he wasn't sure how his team was going to handle that because sometimes when you're just playing the next game in front of you, you don't know what day of the week it is anyway. Turn the basketball over on the inbounds.
This is an unfortunate thing. The ball was thrown up. Kimbrough got tripped or fell down and an over and back violation.
1A state championship game, St. Anne and Nokomis. Ball is on the floor and it's stolen away by Jared Spears.
Real good pass. You got to use your hands, not your face. You just didn't see the ball coming.
Bertolini had the ball knocked out of his hands. Now it's Jacano at the top of the circle.
You can hear Coach Kimbrough yelling for patience on every possession. They don't want a quick basket. They want to make the defense work.
Wade Kimbrough working on Cliff Fleming that time. Shot didn't go. Now it's Peden. Bounce pass down low. Tough shot in traffic is Davis, and he's going to get to the free throw line. We saw him make a couple of acrobatic baskets yesterday, Cal, and this was starting to look like one of those baskets he made on the baseline yesterday.
See that he gets the baseline, which is really hard to do against the 1-2-2. And look like got the ball tipped from behind, and foul was called.
Again, he gave his team a huge lift coming off the bench with 11 points and 12 rebounds against the Lewistown Indians in the state semi yesterday.
He really did. I think he was the key factor, the X factor in the game yesterday.
Just a sophomore, missed the free throws though. Back comes Nokomis in the front court quickly. Here's Kimbrough. He lost the ball. Ball's on the floor. Davis comes away with a steal. Now it's Cortez Peden all the way down, and he lays it in, and that ends an 8-0 Nokomis run.
The defensive pressure in the half court really picked up that possession. I think that was discussed at the timeout.
Now we've got the final minute of this first quarter. Here's Kimbrough. Skip pass behind a double screen. Bertolino, rainbow jumper.
We used to call that baseline, but to have the pass made by a post player is unbelievable for the three. Really good look.
Austin Bertolino off to a terrific start now. 10 of his team's 16 points in the opening quarter. Here's Berdonis down low. He got his own shot block, got it back in, laid it in. 4 points now for Berdanis. Under a half minute to go here in this opening quarter. 5-point Nokomis lead. The Redskins with the basketball.
Nokomis is really shaky with the ball in the half court. It's going to be hard for them to hold for 30 seconds.
10 seconds left here in the quarter.
They definitely invade your space, St. Anne does. They do a good job of getting right up and not allowing you to make the movement you want to. They've been forcing Ticino to the left, and he's still trying to go to the right.
Team foul is on Kenneth Thomas, the personal foul, and so that's team foul number 4 against St. Anne. There's 8.1 seconds to go here in the quarter.
Excellent defensive fundamentals. You want him to have to get the ball going back toward the other basket.
Jacquino lost his footing, and now it's an over and back call against Nokomis. So the Redskins turn it right back over, and now with 5 ticks left on the clock, St. Anne has a chance to cash in.
It's a tough over and back call. I don't believe it was ever over. It's hard to come back. Anyway, you have 5 seconds. You got to play defense and make sure the turnover doesn't hurt you.
Here's Fleming, pull up 3, top of the circle, rims out, tipped in. It was either Davis or Berdanis. We'll let the officials figure out who gets credit for the basket. We know the team does. They pulled it within 3. Nokomis 16, St. Anne 13 after 1 quarter of play in the Class 1A state championship. Our first quarter stats update brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Nokomis with a 16-13 advantage and a 10-5 advantage, Cal, on the glass.
And Nokomis is doing a good job on the glass. I'm really concerned about the way they're handling the half-court pressure. They're going to have to find their pressure releases so that they can handle pressure better. They did a good job of bringing their big kids out at the end of that quarter. I've noticed a real difference with St. Anne on their defensive pressure. They're really a sound, fundamental defensive team. They're really turning it up on defense, but they're also turning up the pressure on the offensive end. They're forcing the action, and they're really getting right into the middle of that 1-2-2.
Big first quarter for Austin Bertolino. He's the game's leading scorer with 10 points for Nokomis. And we are underway here in this second quarter. St. Anne with the basketball to open the period. And we've got a turnover. Fleming threw the ball back court. He was looking for Bryant DeWitt, and they misfired.
Passer and receiver have to know what's happening.
Steve Kimbrough right in front of us belting out, run the play. So we'll see what kind of play they're going to run here.
You can handle the turnovers when there's pressure being applied. It's a little harder when they're unforced errors.
Here's Kimbrough now with Berdanis on him. Tough man-to-man defense that St. Anne is employing. Wade Kimbrough's going to try from the top of the circle, and that's good.
He's very good from that medium-range jump shot.
6 points for Kimbrough, 18-13, a 5-point advantage for Nokomis. Nobody's going to guard Cortez Penden. He says, I'm going to shoot the 3. Couldn't get it to go. Berdanis couldn't get the rebound to go either.
That's a shot made out of impatience, and that's exactly what the 1-2-2 plays on. Go ahead and take your shot from out there.
Outside jumper is missed this time from Lucas Jacquino, and now we've got a foul in the backcourt, and it's going to go against Nokomis. Looks like Bertolino. That's the case. So that's the first personal on Bertolino, and that is the second team foul now in Nokomis. Fleming brings the ball up the floor. St. Anne again has a 4th place finish back in 1973. This will be their first state trophy since then. Jumper from a tough angle on the baseline is Cortez Penden.
Unbelievably tough shot. You're right there.
Reverse!
St. Anne's crawled back to within 3. Both these teams just love to create havoc defensively on you. Get their hands in the passing lanes, and there's a near steal that time by Peden. They're always so active with their hands.
They do it in different ways, but you're right. Both teams are dictated by their defense.
Bertolino had the ball knocked away. Again, that was Peden with the quick hands that knocked it out of bounds. We mentioned the fourth place finish in 1973 for St. Anne's Cardinals. They lost to North Lawndale in the Super Sectionals last year. Lost to Winnebago in the state quarters in 04, a 62-60 game. So they've got a little bit of state experience in the last couple of years, but hadn't had that trophy case expanded yet. They're going to get something here.
In the first part of this play, on the out-of-bounds play, Kimbrough screened and came back to the ball and was open. Really good job of pump faking and getting his defenders in the air.
Wade Kimbrough to the free throw line for Nokomis. He is a 64% foul shooter. You know, he is coming off a career-high 28-point effort against Oakville in the Super Sectionals, and had a 12.10 rebound, a double-double performance against Warrensburg Latham here yesterday in the state semis. So he's stepped his game up here in crunch time.
Made some huge defensive plays yesterday too.
Already with 8 points here in this opening half against St. Anne's, a 5-point lead for the Redskins. At 30-5, looking for their first ever state championship. The 83, 97, and 06 teams made it to state, but did not get a trophy either of those years. Victory would tie the school record for wins in a season of 31 set by the 2016. Fleming's three from the top of the circle. Good.
You do a great job in the defensive end, and then you get the three. You give up the three, but it made St. Anne work, so that neither coach can be too upset about that.
Jacano all the way down, tries to finish this time. He's had 3 of those looks from the right side. Hasn't got any of them to go. That pass was intended for Berdanis, but knocked out of bounds. Give the Redskins credit for hustling back on defense.
Nokomis is getting the dribble penetration, and they're taking it all the way down the floor. It's just taking it a little in a little bit too deep. Needs to stop and take the jump shot.
Timeout on the floor. 2-point lead for Nokomis. Back with more after these local messages.
Team is actually made up of 2 different communities, St. Anne and Hopkins Park. Now, earlier this season, they actually won the Kankakee Holiday Tournament, which actually is one of the older tournaments in the state of Illinois. Speaking of older, back in 1973, Jack Sikma, a legend who is actually now the assistant coach of the Houston Rockets in the NBA, and he also, in his free time, manages several golf courses back in the Seattle, Washington area, which I find to be quite interesting. Back to you, Kurt.
Thanks, Ashley. Yeah, Jack Sikma was in touch with the St. Anne team last year when he was voted one of the 100 legends to play in IHSA basketball, and sending his congratulations out to St. Anne and hoping that they can bring home a state championship trophy this year.
He was a great player at St. Anne, but he was even a greater player at Illinois Wesleyan. What a fantastic career and a very good man.
Good hands that time by St. Anne, but there's Jacano finally on his 4th attempt, makes that basket from the right side.
He had the advantage, and he took advantage of it, took the ball to the basket.
Boy, that pass from Peden, he went and got it, and it was a long pass off the backboard, and he went and tracked it down. Now Fleming, 3 for the lead. Rolls off.
I thought it was a shot. Had a little bit too much on it.
Yeah, it might be credited with a shot. That's going to hurt the shooting percentages here.
Oh, my.
Deep 3, Bertolino. Ball is saved, but saved to Nokomis.
Real good job by Kimbrough of making that save. He was getting the ball thrown off of him by Fleming.
Now working the baseline and hitting the pull-up jumper. Nicely done by Jared Spears.
Very well under control. Took it baseline, short jumper.
It's a 4-point lead for Nokomis. Now here's Peden. Now Berdanis. His fadeaway jumper. That's a tough shot. Rolls out. He had a good look, but couldn't get it to go down. But there's going to be a travel violation in the backcourt against Nokomis, so St. Anne will maintain possession. We're seeing some substitutions now. Brandon Brewer, check that, Troy Kimbrough comes in the game for Nokomis. As does Clayton Mason. Now he's re-entered the game for St. Anne.
But Bertolino sure ends up in the right place a lot on both ends of the floor.
Big scrum underneath him. Is going to be a basket that time by Fleming. He outfought everybody for the basketball and laid it in.
I had an official and a coach in my way, and I'm not smart enough to look at the monitor.
Now here's Jacquino, skip pass across now to Troy Kimbrough. They're going to inside. Here's Wade. Wade Kimbrough's little fade away from the baseline. It's no good. Offensive rebound.
Nice
he
job.
sticks it back in.
He's so quick to the basket once he made his move.
Now quickly back up the floor. Peden all the way down. He gets it down to Clayton Mason. His shot won't go. Contested nicely by the Redskins.
Nokomis has to counteract the quickness of St. Anne by giving a little bit more room on the defensive end.
And now a steal. Lightning quick, Cliff Fleming all the way down. He's going to draw contact. He's going to get to the free throw line.
Anytime a player is on the floor and they turn their back to the basket, they're going to find themselves in trouble. This is the end of it after the steal by Fleming, and not giving up the easy basket, making them earn it at the free throw line.
And so Cliff Fleming, who started his high school career at Oaklawn Richards because he wanted to be a football player, but has turned himself into an all-conference basketball player to the free throw line. His coach says that he would have been a great linebacker had he pursued his football dreams. He says he still does miss the fact that he didn't get a chance to play football. They don't have a football program at St. Anne, but boy, has he cashed in on the basketball floor. 8 20-point games this season. He had a 30-point game, a 29-point game, a 28-point game this year. So he's making his voice heard on the basketball floor this season.
And he's playing much more relaxed and under control. You can see what kind of player he is today.
Nice pass down from Bertolino down to Kimbrough. Had a shot blocked though. Berdanis got a hand on it and then he saves it. What a defensive play. Now it's Fleming all the way down. He gives it up to Mason, who's fouled, and it's going to be Clayton Mason to the free throw line. How about the defensive effort that time by Varon Berdanis?
Let's hope we can get a replay on this. It was an excellent. We didn't get to see the defensive play. We're just getting to see the offensive result. But quick jumping, got a piece of the ball. I'm not sure who blocked it.
It was Berdanis. It was
Berdanis?
right in the middle of that, and then he had the wherewithal to go save it, get it in bounds. This is Clayton Mason to the free throw line. We mentioned that it was Fleming that started his high school career at Oaklawn Richards. Mason is a transfer from Moments. And he's made it a one-point basketball game at 26-25. Under 2 minutes to go here, opening half of the Class 1A Boys State Basketball Championship game here in Peoria. And now it's Mason with a steal. And it's Fleming going to push the ball up the floor, all the way down, looking for help. And he finds Berdanis.
Excellent pressure once the ball is in Fleming's hand. He keeps putting the heat on the defense. But every time the back is turned on the basket by Nokomis, they're turning the ball over.
And the Cardinals now have a one-point lead at 27-26. Little spin move and shot off the glass is no good by John Cheek. The ball is still loose. Still loose. Cheek comes up with it. He finds Kimbrough in traffic and he scores. Great first half of action here, back and forth. Another offensive foul this time is going to be called against St. Anne. It's Cliff Fleming, the foul.
Well, we might have needed another angle at that one. That was a tough call.
And now Jared Spears is going to check in quickly for Nokomis. He will replace Troy Kimbrough. Get him in before the ball is inbounded. 1:08 to go here in this opening half. Nokomis with a one-point advantage and the basketball.
1 minute remaining in the half.
Well, this has been a very entertaining first half of action. And now a steal from Cliff Fleming. All the way down. He lays it in. Now Kimbrough back in the front court. See if the Redskins try and pull this thing out and hold for one. That's what they did yesterday.
They tried to hold it before. I'm not sure that they can hold it that long. So if they attack the basket, they're in better shape.
Kimbrough attacks. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound, though. Jared Spears again in on that. And it looks like it's going to be a held ball and a jump ball possession where the arrow is favoring Nokomis. So the Redskins will still have it with 30.5 to go in the quarter. Both teams look a little winded, don't they, Cal? They're grabbing for their shorts.
Yeah, they are winded. They're playing so intense.
Final half minute of this first half. Very entertaining Class 1A state championship game.
Relentless defensive pressure takes it out of both teams. If these kids just keep on coming at it.
Here's Jacano. Now it's going to be Spears again from the outside. He can't get it to go. Ball is loose. It's Wade Kimbrough. He couldn't finish. It's Peden. He's going to hang on to it, and that's going to end our half. Nokomis had a couple of good looks, but couldn't cash in.
Excellent job of hustling. Ball just doesn't go in sometimes. Sometimes they put a lid on it.
Good first 16 minutes of action with St. Anne leading Nokomis 29-28. And Ashley Robinson is standing by right now with the head coach, Rick Schoon, of the Cardinals.
Thanks, Kurt. Coach, very aggressive defense in that second half, but you got to be a little disappointed with the second chance shot opportunities.
Unfortunately, that's the way it's been for us the past few games. We give up a lot of offensive opportunities in the first half. Second half, a lot of times we're able to correct that, so hopefully make that same correction again.
All right, well, good luck with that, Coach. Kurt, you can go ahead and take it back.
Thank you, Ashley. St. Anne 29, Nokomis 28. Halftime of the Class 1A state championship game in Peoria. Back with more after you hear from our network sponsors. St. Anne 29-28, the halftime lead over Nokomis. We have the medal ceremony for the third place game. Let's throw it back over to Paul Herzog, our public address announcer for the ceremony.
At this time, please meet the Indians of Lewiston. The Lewistown Indians finished fourth place with a record of 31-3. Let's meet the superintendent of Lewistown, Bill King. Principal and athletic director, Gavin Schrantz. Head coach, Brad Hatfill. Assistant coach, Joey McLaughlin. Assistant coach, Brad Schaefer. Assistant coach, Jay Valencia.
I don't know who that is. Sitting down?
Assistant coach, Mike Trone. And now the Indians. 2, Brian Flaherty. 4, Quinton Hatfill. 10, Brett Burrows. 12, Scott Parrish. 20, Ian Simpson. 22, Clayton Hatfill. 24, Tyler Clear. 30, Adam Valencia. 32, Trevor Schubert. 34, Risty Johnson. 40, Corey Bishop. 44, Eric Shelby. Manager, Joe Irwin. And manager, Sam Schaefer. The Lewistown Indians, fourth place. At this time, please meet the Cardinals of Orangeburg Latham, 2008, third place, 32-2. Let's meet the superintendent of Orangeburg Latham, Emmett Aubrey. Principal, Ken Hatcher. Athletic Director, Cindy Bukovic Harris. Trainer, Sherry Knudsen. Assistant Principal, Nancy Broadbeck. Head Coach, Vic Binkley. Assistant Coach, Paul Hoffman. Assistant Coach, Travis White. Assistant Coach, Tanker Wade. Now the Cardinals players, 00, Cameron Warnsley. 4, Justin Bird. 10, Luke Butts. 12, Dominique Warnsley. 14, Kirk Niebuhr. 20, Brock Fisher. 22, Zach Cole. 24, Zach Boyd. 32, Alex Beery. 34, CJ Yakeley. 42, Jared Offenbaugh. 50, Adam Wright. 52, Jacob Huggins. 54, Bryce Mathews. And the scorekeeper, Mike Peswitz. The Warrensburg Latham Cardinals, third place, 2008 1A. Now will Coach Hatfill and the captains of Lewistown step forth to receive the fourth place trophy. Congratulations, the Lewistown Indians. And now will Coach Binkley and the captains of Warrensburg Latham step forward and receive the third place trophy. Class 1A, third place, 2008. Congratulations to Warrensburg Latham. Congratulations to both teams. How about a hand for both their effort and their success. Class 1A, 2008, third and fourth place. Thank you.
And there you have it, Warrensburg Latham and Lewistown getting their third and fourth place trophies. Now we bring you the Honda halftime highlights brought to you by Honda. Visit your Honda dealer and test drive the all-new 268 horsepower Accord V6.
Cliff Fleming, 16 points in that first half. What are you going to do to contain him?
We've got to move quicker. I mean, that's one thing we've got to do. We've got to stop their dribble penetration, their fast break. If we don't do that, it's going to be a long second half.
All right, Coach, good luck. Back to you, Kurt.
It's a tough task to try to take on Mr. Fleming. We'll see what happens here in the second half, which is around the corner. It's St. Anne 29 and Nokomis 28. Back with more, and it's the third quarter on the IHSA Television Network. And welcome back to Carver Arena. Kurt Pegler and former Normal University High School head coach Cal Hubbard with you. Our sideline reporters today, Ashley Robinson and Lee Hall. Second half action now for the Class 1A state championship game. We had a very entertaining first 16 minutes, Cal, with a 1-point lead for St. Anne. We expect more of the same here in the second 16 minutes.
Coach Kimbrough had a good point that they've got to stop the dribble penetration with their ball press. They've got to have 5 guys trying to cut out the dribble penetration that Fleming's been able to get in the first half.
St. Anne starts with the lead and the basketball and a three-point. He's a 32% three-point shooter, but he knocks down his triple here to open the third quarter.
You only have to hit one to get you going.
That's right. Shooters start feeling it. They make 1 or 2, and it's a whole different ballgame. Bertolino had that going for him in the first half, and he's going to try and answer with a 3, and that's good.
That is really an interesting looking shot. I mean, it has so much better chance coming in from that high, but kids don't shoot it with that kind of arc anymore.
Well, we heard Roger Lowe talk about it in halftime. It's such a high arching shot, but it finds the bottom of the net. He's pulled his team back within 1.
Sure looks good in his hands.
Here's Berdonis quickly double team. Now it's Fleming. Now to the corner. Pete
Roger.
pushed baseline all the way down. He flipped it inside to Mason.
I can do something coming back from this next break.
So Clayton Mason going to get to the free throw line.
They've done a really good job on Berdonis in the first half. They've had a guy in front of him and behind him, and as a result, they're giving up dribble penetration. So they've actually slowed down St. Anne right now. But in the second quarter, I thought the tempo was more in St. Anne's favor.
Well, Mason was held scoreless by the Lewistown Indians in yesterday's state semifinal, but he can be a scoring threat. He had a season-high 16 points against Donovan in the sectional championship game. And the man can jump. He's a high jumper on track, too, so he can bring it from a couple of different angles for you. He's given his team a 2-point advantage, 33-31. We played a minute into this third quarter of action. Bertolino penetrates. He was looking for Jacano. He had his pocket picked. It's Cliff Fleming that comes away with the steal and the basketball. Now it's Mason. His short jumper is short and cleared by Wade Kimbrough. Here's Bertolino. Penetrates and scores off the glass. Austin Bertolino, who had a terrific first half, continues it here in the second half.
Real good individual move. Caught the ball in the high post, spun, took it to the basket.
15 points now for Bertolino.
Three-point shooter has an advantage when he puts it on the floor. Fleming is shooting the ball so much more relaxed today, so much more under control.
Yesterday, if you saw any of the state semifinal action, he was strapped with foul trouble. We didn't see this side of his game that we're seeing today. Got a foul inside. It's going to go against St. Anne's Kenneth Thomas. And that's his third personal.
Dribble penetration should lead to baskets or fouls.
Got a good look there at Steve Kimbrough, who had to admit that he kind of pinched himself after they won the super sectional game because he realized he had done something that he'd never done before in his 27 years of coaching, and that's make the Final Four. There's his son inside, can't finish. Ball is still on the floor, and it's going to be a held ball. And Nokomis gets the ultimate possession.
Sometimes when you go up expecting to get hit and you don't, it makes the shot even tougher. He did a good job of scrambling and getting the ball back. Nokomis' kids do a real good job of posting up inside and using their body to get good position.
And Bertolino slipped underneath Cortez Penden there, and Peden is going to be whistled for the foul.
And for St. Anne being undersized, they do a real good job of guarding the post. They front the post well. They make kids work to get good position. So it's a really good battle right now in the post.
Well, this game has lived up to its pregame billing as far as we're going to see some exciting plays. We're going to see some ball pressure. We're going to see some teams going up and down the floor, and that's what we've seen so far.
And I see a lot of heart and desire.
Ball is still loose, and nicely done. A timeout called from the seat of his pants by John Cheek. He was in all kinds of trouble, but he alertly called for timeout.
If you want to come to me, I got something now.
Association of Realtors. The 1908 state championship game was played where? Was it the Oak Park YMCA,
right.
the Bloomington YMCA, or the Bradley Gymnasium here in Peoria? That's our trivia question, brought to you by the National Association of Realtors. Looking for a professional realtor, go to realtor.com. We'll have that answer for you in just a moment. Now that's some hair. Guys now realizing that he made the scoreboard camp.
Big time now.
5:08 mark here, third quarter. St. Anne with a 2-point advantage is 35-33. And an interesting thing, if you look back on the schedule for St. Anne, this is a team, Cal, that lost its last 4 regular season games. So the smallest possible winning streak that a team could have to make it to the state championship game is 6, and that's exactly what this team has. And the coaching staff told us in the shoot-around on Thursday, they challenged the kids. They said, how bad do you want it? And he said they just kind of looked in the mirror and said, we want it bad enough, let's get to Peoria.
You got to give Coach Schooner really thumbs up to that he was able to bring his kids back, and the kids got to take some credit for it too.
That 1908 state title game was played at the Oak Park YMCA, and that's our trivia question brought to you today by the National Association of Realtors. Now we're back to live action. Jacano, the top of the circle at the 5-minute mark. This is Spears looking inside. Wants to go down low, gets it to Cheek, who now gives it up to Kimbrough. His short jumper rims out.
Excellent look.
Adonis that comes up with it.
The interior post passing from post to post is really good for Nokomis. Didn't get the shot to fall.
Fleming's 3 is no good. Berdonis with the offensive rebound, and he's fouled.
Berdonis had great position on that. Ball fell in his lap, which happens sometimes when you get good position.
Well, this is a guy that started the tournament, as his coach said, Rick Schoon, that he might be the most underrated player in the state tournament because he plays on a team with a first-team All-Stater in Cliff Fleming. But, boy, if you take a look at what this guy has done, his 18-point, 8-rebound performance against Eastland in the Super Sectional was followed up by a 27-point, 10-rebound performance in the state semi against Lewistown. So if he's underrated, he's not in many eyes is he underrated any longer.
He's getting a body put on him right now, though, because he only had 3 rebounds in the first half, and he's going to do better than that in the second half.
We've got a timeout on the floor. St. Anne leads this state championship game 37-33. Back with more after these local timeouts.
Arena, it's a 4-point St. Anne lead. We're with Terry Seroy. His son, Todd, is an assistant coach for Rick Schoon and St. Anne. You also own the bus company in town. Tell me about that. You have been kind of like, you got a little bit of the Santa Claus beard going on there. You helped get a lot of people down here today.
Yeah, we did. I was happy to be able to provide free transportation for the team and all the fans that rode the buses from the schools. A couple buses from our high school, one for our grade school there in town, and we're just lucky enough to be able to do that.
Tell me about the background, Rick, and your son Todd taking over this program, a program that was almost lost because of budget crunches, which a lot of schools face across the state.
Right, they cut all extracurricular monies for our school about 6-7 years ago, and we, through donations and things like that, we were able to keep the basketball program alive, and Todd and Rick were instrumental in voluntarily taking over those duties. Todd was athletic director for a while. Rick was the coach. So I'm proud to have him as my son and Rick as a friend.
And they're getting paid now.
Yeah, they are.
All right, Terry, thanks a lot. Hey, back to you. I think they deserve that check. What do you think, guys?
I'd say they've done a marvelous job of taking a program that was nearly defunct now to a state championship game.
You can't overpay coaches, though.
Spoken like a true coach.
You can underpay them, and Zero's underpaid.
Kenneth Thomas had the basket on one end, and now there's a travel violation on the other end for Nokomis. And yeah, when you think about 5 or 6 years ago, how that was almost a death sentence for St. Anne, facing an opportunity not to even have athletics. And since that time, they've been to the Super Sectionals last year. They were in the state quarterfinals in 04 and played for a state title this year. So they've gone from nearly dead to perhaps a state championship.
What a credit to the community and to the school district.
Here's another look at that last sequence here. Bertolino picks up the foul as he and Cliff Fleming got tangled up.
Just got tangled up. One's making a move and one's trying to steal it.
And he's going to come to the bench now. Takes a seat right next to Steve Kimbrough. St. Anne with a basketball and a 39-33 lead. Make that a 42-33 lead. A three-point shot from Cliff Fleming, and now we are seeing firsthand why this guy is a first-team All-Stater.
He's having a great game.
And now the pressure is broken. In fact, there's a foul on St. Anne right at the timeline, and that's going to be whistled against Kenneth Thomas, and that is his fourth. And so Thomas is going to have to take a seat on the Cardinals bench, and Cortez Penden comes in to replace him on the floor.
They've got an excellent guard rotation. They've got people that can step up and step in for others when they get in foul trouble. And every one of them is aggressive defensively.
Ball is out of bounds. Nokomis again turning the basketball over.
It's a little out of control.
And Bertolino, who just took a spot on the bench, got about a 25-second breather. He comes back in. He replaces Jared Spears.
Coach says, you've rested long enough, son. I need you.
Well, and when you're an outside shooter, you need those legs to be fresh, don't you?
You sure do. I think he had somebody else that needed a breather.
Here's Fleming, and he has been a handful for the Redskins to defend this afternoon. 21-point effort. Here's Peden. He'll hand now to Fleming as they spread the floor at the 3-minute mark left here in this third quarter.
Trying to spread the floor and make Nokomis match up.
Peden at the top of the circle, dribble drive. Here's Davis, works the baseline and scores.
What a sweet move on the baseline, and what a great finish it was.
Javonte Davis now with 4. His team with an 11-point advantage at 44-33, a near steal from Fleming. Active hands again for St. Anne. And now it does result in a steal. Ball's on the floor. Kimbrough gets it back. Missed the shot. He had to change it in there. He double clutched. Now it's Peden all the way up. Here's Mason, pump fake. Had a shot partially blocked, and Peden goes out and gets the long rebound.
Really good action right now. Both teams really working hard. I think the defense is going to be stretched by St. Anne right now, wanting Nokomis to come out and guard him.
Under 2 minutes to go here, third quarter. Now it's Fleming, gives it back up to Peden, top of the circle.
Good patience and good discipline shown by St. Anne.
This is a 3-man weave with Clayton Mason involved, and now it's Mason, dribble drive, kick out, Fleming.
Didn't have it, did a really good job of taking the ball back out. Good job of reading situations.
Fleming through a double team, slips the ball down to Berdanis. You like this strategy, Coach?
Well, I always employed it, so I guess that means yes. I think when you've got a team that's playing a zone, you don't want to attack the zone, make them come out and match up. Especially when you have the lead.
Well, they've whittled better than 2 minutes off the clock here in this possession. Here's Mason. He lost it. Ball's on the floor, and Nokomis comes away with it. So they exchanged 2 minutes of clock time instead of a basket there, and perhaps at this point St. Anne will take that.
Sometimes it can help you, sometimes it can take the wind out of your sails too.
But they get it right back after a steal. Berdanis to Davis. Missed the shot. Berdanis is there for the offensive rebound, puts it back up, and he's going to get some free throws.
Just really quick hands at half court, knock the ball loose. Davis got turned around trying to take the ball to the basket. Berdanis is in the right place a lot.
John Cheek picks up his third foul. Berdanis back to the free throw line.
Nokomis is really tired right now. You see Coach trying to get some people, get a couple of minutes extra rest, especially with the starting post players. Give them 30 seconds so they can get ready to go for the fourth quarter. You can see it in the kids' faces.
Varon Berdanis, V-A-R-R-O-N. He has sisters named Vanyel, Vanica, and Vanity. You think they like the letter V in that family? And he hopes V stands for victory today. He's given his team a 13-point lead late third quarter here, 46-33 St. Anne. There's Spears off the glass and in, and they're going to count the basket, and Jared Spears has an opportunity for a three-point play. Get another look here.
Okay, yeah, we're going to get a replay here where he just catches the ball in the mid-post, puts it on the floor, and takes it in. I really like the way Spears goes up, gathers himself before he shoots the ball. He's got a really good setup on his jump shot.
Spears, who doubles as the team's soccer goalie, as well as that post player on the basketball team, gives a three-point play and puts his team back within 10 here in the final seconds of this third quarter. And a near steal, ball is knocked out of bounds. Good overplay, that time by Chris Brady, who's just checked in the game for Nokomis. 15.9 seconds to go here, third quarter of this Class 1A state championship game.
Strategy for St. Anne is let's take a shot.
There's Berdanis. Brady just checked in and just got a foul.
As a matter of fact, that wasn't the strategy I thought. I thought they'd be taking one shot and going in for the fourth quarter with either 10-point or 12-point lead. I guess in 14 seconds you can get a lot of shots.
Well, Berdanis now back to the free throw line. We mentioned that he had 27 points yesterday. 11 of those 27 points came from the foul line. And we kind of joked yesterday that he had 187 free throw attempts coming into the state tournament. So he's a man who has been to the foul line before.
He's really got a lot of confidence at the line right now.
Likely the final possession here of the third quarter. Kimbrough gives it up, now to Brady. 2 seconds to shoot. Not sure that Nokomis realized it, and the Redskins didn't even get a shot off.
The two kids that just came in the basketball game and they just didn't realize what the clock situation was.
12-point lead for St. Anne. The fourth quarter of the Class 1A state championship game is upcoming after these messages and a word from your local stations. Here at Carver Arena, we'll share with you our stats through three quarters, brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. And St. Anne, which had a 5-point advantage at halftime, has now doubled that to 10. I'm sorry, now it's a 12 at 48-36. And Cal, when you take a look at the rebounds, they look the same and the assists look the same, but the turnover differential is big right now. 14 Nokomis Redskins turnovers, and St. Anne is cashing it into points.
That's a credit to St. Anne's defensive pressure. They've done a great job putting pressure on the ball. I think that St. Anne is going to probably be deliberate in their attack if Nokomis stays in their traditional 1-2-2. There are different adjustments you can make out of the 1-2-2 to put pressure on, and it'll be interesting to see on what adjustments Coach Kimbrough has done.
And so St. Anne starts the fourth quarter with a basketball. 8 minutes away from their first state championship. Fleming is double teamed. They've extended that offense out. Now it's Javante Davis. He spins and he can't get it to go down. Lucas Jacano walks the ball back up the floor now for Nokomis. The Redskins trying to carve into a 12-point St. Anne advantage. This is Brady in trouble. Near steal by Davis. Tracked down by Jacano. Now the ball is loose again. Berdanis comes away with it. Attacks from the left and draws contact, and he's going to get back to the free throw line.
You took it to the basket strong. Anytime you get the ball into a corner, it's hard to get out of it. You can see the finish of the play where he goes in strong to the basket, trying to prevent it.
Oh, a little wink there. How about that? From
Always know where the
Berdanis.
camera
Yeah.
is. Always know where the camera is.
Well, sometimes you think that these guys are playing on pins and needles, but these 17, 18-year-old kids are having fun, aren't they?
They're not on the same pins and needles as the coaches
That's right.
are.
Again, Berdanis doing some serious damage at the free throw line. He's perfect 7 out of 7. We mentioned he was 11 of 14 yesterday.
He's also getting to the right place at the right time, and he's cashing in at the free throw line. He's doing a lot of hard work to get there.
And now a steal by Cliff Fleming.
Lazy passes will get you in big time trouble. Nokomis is in trouble right now, and you got to not panic. But definitely St. Anne is in control of this basketball game if they make good decisions on the offensive end.
And there's still plenty of time left in this basketball game. You look at the score and you say it's a 14-point game, but there's better than 7 minutes to play. And with a 3-point shot, especially with the way that some of those guys where the Redskins can shoot it, this game is not over.
Well, I do think that one of the problems is Nokomis has had such a tough road to get here with an extra day. Played a day later, I think that their tanks are running on empty. Coach Kimbrough's done a good job with his bench trying to get his big kids a couple of minutes of rest from a few seconds before the end of the quarter, the 2 minutes of the quarter break, and then just brought Kimbrough back into the game.
And as long as the Cardinals continue to cash in at the free throw line, it's going to make it very difficult for Nokomis. 2 more foul shots made by Fleming. It's now a 52-36 advantage for St. Anne. Working the baseline and trying to get the shot to go down with Spears. He couldn't get it to go. John Cheek fights for it, had it stripped. Spears gets it back and cashes in off the glass.
Good job of attacking on the glass.
Fleming lost the ball at the timeline on the trap. Now it's Jacqueno, and there's a collision. The foul's going to be against Cortez Penden of the Cardinals.
A lot of action right there. Good position by Peden on the sideline. Always a judgment call.
Looks like a good call there.
Both teams it depends on which side you're on.
Well, both teams are now in the bonus, so we'll be seeing a lot of free throws from here on out. Bertolino's shot didn't draw iron. The ball's out of bounds to St. Anne.
You know, Peden should get a lot of credit for what's happening with the best outside shooter. Lost his name. Bertolino. He has really not done anything in the last 10 or 11 minutes because Peden is right in his face when he catches the ball.
Now, Rick Schoon told us that he thought his team's best defender was Cortez Peden, and he's showing us why today.
An intentional foul from behind with no chance of getting the ball.
So intentional foul is ruled against Lucas Jacqueno.
You can't foul from behind.
Clayton Mason to the free throw line with nobody at the line with him now. Steve Kimbrough getting the explanation from the officials. And the second of 2 free throws for Mason doesn't go down either. And so we'll see Troy Kimbrough re-enter the game now for the Redskins. He'll come back in, and going back to the bench is Jacqueno. Ball inbounds right to Berdanis, who laid it in.
Good position.
Now it's going to get real hard for Nokomis. 54-38, the lead for St. Anne, inching closer to the school's first ever state basketball championship. Kimbrough gives it up inside to his nephew Troy. Shot was blocked. But we've got a foul before the next attempt.
St. Anne's defense is so active right now. They're getting a piece of a lot of passes. But the big kids from Nokomis, even though they're worn out, they're just battling so hard on the inside. You can see them holding their shorts and being really windy.
So Troy Kimbrough, the nephew of the head coach Steve, to the free throw line. Pretty good foul shooter at 72%. Long rebound is tracked down by Clayton Mason, and it's going to be a foul in the backcourt on John Cheek, who just got wrapped up with it.
It's hard to come off the bench and shoot a free throw in the state tournament.
And we'll walk back down to the other end and shoot foul shots.
It's getting a little ragged, but at the same time, it's been a very good basketball game. But right now, the control is with St. Anne, and Nokomis has got to play hard and see if they can get it under 10 in the next 3 minutes. If they can get it under 10 in the next 3 minutes, anything can happen.
John Cheek has picked up his 5th foul, and so he's out of the basketball game. The junior center will at least be back for another season for Nokomis. That's him going to the bench. And back to the free throw line now, Clayton Mason. St. Anne is in a double bonus, so more free throws coming his way. We'll see if he does any better shooting the free throws when he's got bodies around him. He didn't do so well when he was standing out there by himself. Guess it didn't seem to matter. And now a travel violation in the backcourt. Boy, when it rains, it pours, and nothing's going right now for Nokomis.
The bubble is burst for Nokomis. The thing that makes it so tough for Nokomis to come back in this situation is that they're tired, they're going to have trouble chasing, and St. Anne is so good with the basketball. But everybody makes mistakes.
Oh, a steal on the other end. Del Wood is checked in the game. That was him with the steal. Ball is loose, and St. Anne comes up with it, but it's a travel violation.
But good hustle by St. Anne. They're everywhere.
Well, that was a crazy play. See, get another look at it here.
See how quickly Fleming closed to put Jacino in trouble.
As we approach the 5.5-minute mark left here, fourth quarter, St. Anne 54, Nokomis 38. Class 1A Boys State Basketball Championship game here in Peoria, and a foul whistled against St. Anne. That's going to be Berdanis again. He's picked up his third. That's the 8th team foul against St. Anne.
Yeah, there's nothing like high school basketball to see the kind of intensity on these kids' face. Now they're playing with so much heart.
Well, Wade Kimbrough has led his team in scoring 10 times this year. He had a season high 24 points during the regular season and then bested that with a 28-point effort against Oakville in the Super Sectionals, and still playing hard right now for the Redskins. Here's Fleming into the front court. We'll see if St. Anne brings the ball back out, and that's exactly what they do.
They sure don't need quick scores. They need to. When they have the ball, there's no way Nokomis can score.
Davis in traffic, missed the shot, tried to tip up his own rebound, couldn't get it. Kimbrough clears for Nokomis. Now Jacano quickly up the floor. Here's Bertolini. Bertolino draws some contact, and it's going to be free throw time for Austin Bertolino.
Good job of kicking the ball up the floor and attacking the basket. Don't give the defense any time to recover.
That's the 4th foul now on Cortez Penden, so he goes to the bench, and Clayton Mason comes back in for St. Anne. And it's 1 in bonus time now for Austin Bertolino.
It's still only 15 points. There's time. Somehow Nokomis needs to gather themselves. Give themselves a chance.
Bertolino made just 1 of his 5 3-point shots yesterday, but he's made 3 3-pointers here in this state championship game. He makes both those foul shots. He's having quite a game. He's got 17 points, but St. Anne has the lead, 54-41. 4:57 to go in the state championship game. Back with more in a moment. Time now for our Walgreens Picture Perfect Moment. Walgreens is a proud sponsor of this IHSA broadcast and the Picture Perfect Moment. Smiles on the youngsters' faces here in Peoria, taking in the Class 1A State Basketball Championship. Thanks to Walgreens for their continued support of IHSA basketball.
Basketballs always make you smile, whether you're holding them or just looking at them.
And if you get a chance to keep the basketball, then you're probably really smiling. Yeah, they're having a great time here in Peoria. Class 1A State Championship this afternoon. Class 2A State title game to be decided tonight. Now
Good
a steal
shot.
off the inbounds on a quick basket by Jacano. Mason having difficulty inbounding it, did get it to Fleming, and now he's on the floor, and there's a foul in the backcourt against Nokomis.
Nokomis has gone out to all-out denial. They're going to trap the ball when it comes in the game, try to force something to happen. You're going to have to make free throws instead of going down the floor and being deliberate on your offensive end.
2 free throws now coming for Cliff Fleming, who picks himself up off the floor and walks down to the foul line. He's sitting on 23 points. I mentioned his season high was a 30-point effort. He opened the season with a 29-point scoring effort, as if to say, Here I am, boys, for my senior season.
It's still a 12-point game, though. You know, anything can happen as long as Nokomis keeps fighting and giving it a chance.
It's Davis, the offensive rebound. He can't get it to go, and it's cleared that time by Bertolino. Now quickly back up the floor come the Redskins.
Every possession's got to be a good possession.
Jumper off the glass and in Delwood.
Now they're denying on the inbounds pass, causing problems.
Now the quarterback of the football team trying to engineer a comeback here for Nokomis, and St. Anne turns the basketball over. There's still some life in the Redskins.
Ball was thrown up the floor, and Davis just didn't really see it real well and stuck out one hand, and Coach Schoon said, I think you need to sit over here.
And Cortez Penden, who has 4 fouls, has re-entered the game now for the Cardinals. That's him guarding Delwood. As we approach the 4-minute mark left in this one. Wood looking down low. Now he's going to pull up. His jumper is short. Rebound Berdanis on the floor, traveled.
10-point game. Get it under 10, you never know what's going to happen. So it puts a lot of pressure on this possession. Somehow they need to have a post entry. They haven't had a post touch in about 10 minutes. There's one.
Inside to Kimbrough and off the glass. Wade Kimbrough now with 15 points. And now quickly on the other end, Berdanis beats everybody down the floor, and he's going to get back to the free throw line.
Isn't it amazing how quickly the ball got up the floor there? 2 passes. That was at the basket.
Kimbrough picks up the foul, and as active as he has been on both sides of the floor, that's his first foul of the game. Darren Berdanis, perfect from the foul line this afternoon.
If you move your feet on defense and you don't try to block shots, you can be very effective on the defensive end out of the 1-2-2. I think Kimbrough's excellent at that.
There was a lane violation against Nokomis, so they'll reshoot the first free throw, which was Berdanis' first miss of the game.
Isn't that the way it goes? Guess it was meant to be. It wasn't going to be a miss.
Ranked number 1 earlier this season, St. Anne was unranked coming into the state championship series here, but a team, obviously after that 4-game losing streak, a team that people thought was very dangerous. And now with a 56-47 advantage with 3.5 to go here in this state championship game.
They turned up the defensive pressure again.
Delwood from the outside, the miss. The ball is tipped out of bounds, and Nokomis will maintain possession.
One goal was reached. It's under 10 with 3 minutes to go, 3.5 minutes to go. Got to play an almost perfect last 3 minutes for Nokomis to have a chance here.
Backing in, shooting
Inside
and
shot.
scoring is Jared Spears.
Post got you here. Let's let him touch the ball.
Spears in double figures with 11. Now it's Berdanis on the other end. He's fouled.
Still going to have to get some stops.
So Jared Spears picks up his second foul. And Darren Berdanis, who seemingly has been at the foul line all 4th quarter, is back there again.
He's in a perfect position on the offensive end, and the guards are doing a great job of getting him the ball.
And now right at his season scoring average with 17 points.
It doesn't matter what defense you play, it's hard to defend them at the free throw line, so you got to make your stand before they get that close to the basket.
Deep knee bend, he knocks down the second one. 18 points now for Berdanis, who matches his scoring output from the super sectional victory over Eastland on Tuesday night. Here's Wood again. Down low to Spears, who works his way in and shoots it. So Spears with a couple of consecutive baskets, and now a steal. Bertolino in the front court. He'll wait for some help. Giacchino, lob down low to Kimbrough. Control of it, and it's a steal this time for Fleming of St. Anne. 2.5 minutes to go here. A 7-point St. Anne lead in this Class 1A state title game. And Jacquino, the foul.
Send Peterson to the line. Or Peden, I'm sorry, to the line.
And now Steve Kimbrough wants to talk things over, so he calls timeout. And we'll step aside. 2:21 to go here. St. Anne a 7-point lead. Back with more after these messages from our network sponsors. Apple's Bakery in Peoria has introduced a new gluten-free line of desserts. Yes, it's true. Check out their website, applesbakery.com. And parents, Apple's also has great college student packages and corporate gifts as well. Check them out. Apple's Bakery in Peoria. Time now for our Chevy Drive of the Game. Log on now to ChevyDrivesChicago.com. Check us out, ChevyDrivesChicago.com. Cliff Fleming, the steal and the layup for 2 of his game-high 24 points. The main reason why the St. Anne Cardinals have a 58-51 lead.
Not only does he have quick hands, he's so strong with his hands.
Now it's Cortez Peden at the free throw line for the Cardinals.
Big make. Can rattle in, it can go any way you need to.
Pressure-packed foul shooting here. And Peden makes them both. St. Anne has done its damage at the free throw line.
That was a big 4-point turnaround. Just pass inside and then 2 free throws.
Cardinals are 18 of 28 from the free throw line here in this championship game. Bertolino, a 3. Not this time. 2-minute mark now. 9-point lead, St. Anne with the basketball and the advantage. Backcourt foul against Kenneth Thomas. It was a reach-in foul by Del Wood.
Good foul by fouling Thomas. He hasn't been to the line, right? Force him to shoot the free throws.
He's a 64% foul shooter.
Right. He's got a pretty good idea that there are a couple of kids out there that can make the free throws, and you got to challenge the ones that haven't had an opportunity.
And this is a young man with 97 assists on the season. He's asked to distribute the basketball and make good decisions. And Rick Schoon has said that his team is very unselfish. It's a team filled with players that make good decisions. They had 4 players, Cal, on their roster have at least 80 assists on the season. So when it comes down to crunch time, they tend to make good decisions.
That's just great balance. And having that unselfish play is the difference between being a champion and not a champion.
Jared Spears looked like he was going to get a layup, but the ball was knocked out of his hands and out of bounds, so the Redskins will still have it at the 1:43 mark. They're chasing St. Anne by 10 points. It's 61-51, the Cardinals. Wood looks inside. Now it's going to be Jacquino, short shot, no good. Ball is loose, and there's going to be a pushing foul. It's going to go against Nokomis.
Good entry pass into the post, just missed the shot.
Jared Spears is his 3rd foul that he just picked up there. And will walk back down on the floor and shoot some free throws. What's amazing, when we talked with Rick Schoon, he mentioned that 4-game losing streak to end the season. He had said that he thought the early season success had spoiled his team. Perhaps that 4-game losing streak was just what the doctor ordered.
Wake-up calls come in all kinds of different sizes and shapes. I think they also played some pretty good teams.
No doubt about it.
The mark of a quality team and a quality person is to come back after disappointment. They've shown that in their tournament run.
Here's Wood. That pass intended for Kimbrough was picked off by Cliff Fleming, who's quickly fouled in the backcourt. And now it's starting to get away from Nokomis, which was making a whale of a run here at the end.
All great teams have a chance to come back, and I thought Nokomis fought really hard to give themselves a chance in the game.
The free throws now piling up for St. Anne. But you got to make them.
They've made a lot of them today, haven't they? When you have control of the game, you spread it out, you're going to go to the free throw line or get good shots. They worked really hard on defense to get control of the game.
21 made free throws now for St. Anne. There's Jacano, who takes it all the way down and lays it in. As we approach the 1 minute mark left here. Boy, a near travel that time by Fleming. Now it's Mason. And a steal. And nearly a steal that time by Delwood, who stepped in the passing lane but was falling out of bounds. He tried to throw it in off a defender.
No reason for St. Anne to be in a hurry here. They've got the double bonus. Shoot free throws and run the clock.
Fleming's going to go back to the free throw line after the foul on Delwood. Well, nothing again for the Nokomis Redskins to be ashamed about. This team taking a 30-5 record into this state championship game. We mentioned that a victory today would have tied the school record for wins in a season set by the 06 team, which had 31 wins. But they have represented the Prairie State Conference very well. Their superintendent is Gene Krastowski. The principal is Don Markey. The athletic director, Mark Bain. 254 students enrolled in Nokomis. They drove 110 miles north from Montgomery County to see their team play here. And they're not going down without a fight. Here's Woods' three. Banked in.
You've got to be proud anytime you've got a chance as a team to play on the final day of the high school season.
Now they're going to stop the clock momentarily to get the inbounds play here. 38.6 seconds. And there's Fleming again in the backcourt, quickly up the floor. And now St. Anne just trying to play keep away in the final seconds here of this Class 1A state championship game. And it's going to be Fleming again going back to the free throw line. Boy, the Nokomis folks wanted a jump ball to be called there, but instead it's going to be a foul.
What you prefer your kids to do is spread out and move the basketball so you don't even give a foul a chance.
As a reminder, the best high school action is on Fox, highlightschicago.com. They are giving away $12,000 in scholarships to the top 3 videos. Enter today, tell your friends. The IHSA's March Madness is now streaming worldwide at Fox, highlightschicago.com. Well, both fan sections are still on their feet here. Back to the free throw line, Cliff Fleming. Lucas Jacano fouling out after that last foul. He leaves with 6 points. And Fleming splits the free throws, give him 28 of his team's 65 points. Here's Webb, brings the ball up the floor. He penetrates and scores off the glass. And now there's a timeout called by Steve Kimbrough with 16.1 seconds remaining.
Good timeout, making an inline to inline game. 7 points down. It doesn't look very hopeful, but you never give up until the clock says 0-0.
Here's a look at that final AP high school basketball poll in Class 1A. Lewistown and Warrensburg-Latham made it here to the Final Four, played for the 3rd place trophy earlier today. Warrensburg-Latham taking that game. Nokomis ranked 16th, and that's as high as the rankings go. The 17th team, the first team outside of the ranking, is St. Anne. We mentioned earlier this year the Cardinals were ranked as high as number 1, but that 4-game losing streak at the end of the year kind of knocked them out of the rankings. But nobody cares where you're ranked at the end of the season. They want to know what the trophy says.
That's exactly right. Plus, how can the rankings be totally accurate, because they come from so many different places in the state, against different competitions. Some of the conference races are unbelievably difficult. So it's not always the way it looks on paper, I guess.
Congratulations to the Dwight Band as well, making it down here to state. They've been providing the music for the fans here at Carver Arena. They're having a good time as well. It's been a well-played Class 1A state championship tournament here. And we're down to the final 16 seconds of it. The St. Anne Cardinals closing in on a state championship, which would be the first in school history. They have a 4th place trophy in their trophy case from Jack Sikma's magical season back in 1973. clear out some space for another trophy. Kenneth Thomas is in the corner and he's fouled. A couple of more seconds ticked off at 13.4. Kenneth Thomas to the free throw line here. He had a game-high 19 points against Illinois Lutheran. That was his top performance as a senior.
He sure controls the tempo of the game. He does a great job with the ball. He does a good job of finding people on the floor. And defensively, he brings a lot of heat.
Cliff Fleming, by the way, with his 6 steals, is now tied a state record for steals in a championship game. And here come the Nokomis starters off the floor to a rousing ovation to their fans. And the St. Anne starters are coming off as well in the final 13 seconds. The St. Anne Cardinals. The celebration has begun. Well, pictures are worth 1,000 words. That's a 1,000-word picture there, that bench.
Sure is. Winning and losing. Both are hard.
Now some of the underclassmen getting an opportunity to get into this state championship game. And a three-point make is going to close out our scoring.
What a way to end it.
The St. Anne Cardinals are the Class 1A state basketball champions.
Congratulations to the Cardinals. They've come a long way from having their funding stopped. You got to be proud of the coaches and the kids and the entire community.
And the teams are ready to shake hands here at midcourt. Rick Schoon, the head coach of St. Anne, already down, shaking hands of the state runners-up, the Nokomis Redskins. What a performance from the All-Stater Cliff Fleming. We mentioned his 6 steals. He had 28 points. And the St. Anne Cardinals, a 67-61 win over the Nokomis Redskins in the Class 1A state championship game here at the Peoria Civic Center. An amazing finish by St. Anne is what the headline says. It wasn't that way at the end of the regular season. They dropped 4 consecutive to close out the regular season and then won it all. And now Ashley Robinson is standing by with the victorious head coach, Rick Schoon.
Thanks, Kurt. Coach, first off, congratulations. I know this is a really big and important win for you and your guys, but tell me what this means to your community.
It's tremendous for our community. It brings like 3 different communities together between St. Anne, Hopkins Park, and Papineau. And you know, the effort that these guys gave, you know, we had kids from all 3 communities be able to participate and have a part of it. And I can't say enough about what it just means to everybody.
Coach, congratulations. Our country insurance and financial services player of the game, number 21, Cliff Fleming, 28 points and 6 steals, which actually ties a record for a Class A title game. So how does it feel to be a champ?
I don't even know, man. I just got a lot of emotions right now, man. I just can't wait to go home and celebrate with my family and my community.
Well, you go ahead and get that started right now. So congratulations and enjoy it. Back to you, Kurt.
Thank you, Ashley. 28 points and 6 steals. A big-time performance from Cliff Fleming. And St. Anne celebrates a 67-61 championship win over Nokomis. Back with more from Carver Arena if you hear from our network sponsors.
Presenting the first place awards will be Jim Boyd, assisted by Ron Connor. At this time, meet the Redskins of Nokomis, who finished 2008 in second place with a record of 30-6. Let's meet the superintendent, Gene Krastowski. Principal, Don Markey. Athletic Director, Mark Bain. Assistant Athletic Director, Kathy Foster. Head Coach, Steve Kimbrough. Assistant coach, Brian Pisco. Assistant coach, Dan Clavin. And assistant coach, Phil Schneider. Now the Redskins players, 00, Jordan Pisco. 4, Del Wood. 5, Lucas Giacchino. 10, Troy Kimbrough. 12, Seth Bowers. 14, Austin Bertolino. 20, Chris Brady. 22, Shane Stolter. 24, Jared Spears. 30, Dylan Goldsmith. 32, Lucas Wright. 34, John Cheek. 41, Wade Kimbrough. Scorekeeper, Monty Epley. And scorekeeper, Grant Finley. The Redskins in Nokomis, second place, 2008. Now let's meet the Cardinals of St. Anne, 2008. First place, a record of 25-8. Meet the superintendent, Kathleen Hickey. Principal, Mark Zick. Athletic Director, Tom Montemayor. Trainer, Bernie LaRue. Head coach, Rick Schoon. Assistant coach, Todd Seroy. Assistant coach, Kurt Van Horn. Assistant coach, Jeremy Heck. Now the Cardinals players, number 1, Kenneth Thomas. Three, Chris Williams. 4, Dimitri Morgan. 5, Cortez Penden. 10, Brandon Brewer. 11, Clayton Mason. 15, Arnell Powell. 21, Cliff Fleming. 23, Javante Davis. 33, Colin Stetler. 34, Jerrion Broadnax. 40, Jack Nicholson. 42, Brian DeWitt. 50, Kendrick Springer. 52, Varen Berdanis. The Cardinals of St. Anne, 25-8, Class 2A state champs. Now will Coach Kimbrough and the captains of Nokomis step forward and receive the second place trophy. Congratulations, Nokomis Redskins. And now, Coach Schoon and the captains of St. Anne's step forth and receive the first place trophy, Class 2A 2008 state champion. Congratulations to both teams. Special thanks to volunteers. Wherever you're leaving Peoria, please drive safely.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this championship game, brought to you by Honda.